Hey everyone, welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. I'm coming here to talk to you today about the Portals Tarot deck. So this was designed by Taylor Ursula, and I got it from Tarot by Peachy at it was a fair while ago now actually, so I can't remember exactly what event it was at, but it was like a kind of a tarot type fair or a divination fair of some kind that was in my hometown here. So it comes in this box. This is a two-part box. Now the box is sturdy. The only thing about it is the lid doesn't like fit solid onto the base, if that makes sense. So it comes off like quite easily. So it does. Now for me, I'm storing this on my shelf, wedged between other tarot decks. It's not an issue because, nothing's going to happen to it when it's like that. Where this might become an issue is if you are carrying this about maybe in your bag, there's a good chance that that's going to come apart in your bag and the card's going to fall out. So you might want to have this maybe in another bag or something if you're going to keep them in this. So it's just something to bear in mind, but, it's not a massive issue. This is the title card that we get with it, so I'll just read that out. It says, welcome to Portals. This deck was designed by Taylor Ursula over the course of fall 2019 to spring 2022, featuring photography and illustration and collage. Portals is playful, surreal and imaginative, inviting you to explore your narrative with curiosity and wonder while pulling you into new realms and dimensions. For card meanings and prompts, ideas about spreads and info on our artwork, head to thatsopisces.com/portals. So you don't get a guidebook with it, you're directed to this site for the kind of interpretation, spreads, and obviously other information as we can see here. These are the backs. The backs are beautiful. As you can see, they've got this kind of a metallic effect. You can see how it's reflecting the light in the camera there. A wee size comparison. Compare it to a standard Smith weight. So there we go, there's your size comparison. So you can see they're a wee bit bigger, a wee bit broader than your standard US Games type size, your standard tarot size. The cardstock is nice and thick, beautiful matte, soft cardstock. So as far as the cardstock goes, it's really nice. They're really nice cards. They're not edged or anything like that. To be honest, I think with a lot of people that I speak to, that's a plus. Lots of people don't really like edged decks because, well, I know some edging can cut into you. Some edging, when you riffle shuffle or even just overhand shuffling, it makes the deck look edged. And for me, that's fine because I think it makes the deck look well used, well loved, and I quite enjoy that aesthetic, but I know that it's not for everyone. Okay, I'll do a flip through and let you see all of the cards, and then we'll come back at the end, and if we get any more thoughts, maybe I'll do a wee sample spread or something. But yeah, I'm just trying to determine whether I'm best to put the light off or no. I think it's a wee bit better with it on. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to take my face away because we don't need to be seeing me, and let you enjoy the images on the cards. So I was just shuffling these, and as much as I'm saying they don't have any edging or anything on them, I'm realising that as I'm shuffling them, you can't really see in the camera, but there seems to be glitter coming off. I'm not really sure. Look, when I'm looking at the cards now, they do appear. See how you can kind of see it sparkling there. So I'm not sure if they're meant to have that, or if it's just because when I was riffle shuffling them, I don't know, disturbed something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, if you have this deck, then let me know if you've had the same experience. So they are pretty sturdy. They can be riffle shuffled, but you know they're not as easy as, like, for example, a Llewellyn deck, which has thin cardstock and it's very nice to riffle shuffle. You know, I'm not saying it can't be done. It clearly can. You know, they're just that wee bit more thicker cardstock, so it's a bit more difficult to do so. And overhand, there's not that much difference in size from a normal tarot size, so however you would normally shuffle a normal tarot size, you'll be fine shuffling this. In terms of a spread, I thought I would do a wee elemental spread. So sometimes we just kind of want to, either with ourselves, we want to check in with ourselves, or you might have a querent who kind of just wants to do a wee bit of a check-in. I like to do a wee elemental spread for that. So 4 cards, 1 for each of the elements. So we have the fire card, which tells us about what's driving us, what are our passions, you know, what's giving us purpose right now, you know. The air, a wee bit of a mental check-in, see how we're doing in our mind, psychologically, mental well-being, all that kind of a thing. Water is the, you know, our emotional selves. It also concerns our connections with other people, so maybe a wee bit of an emotional check-in, maybe just checking in on our relationships with the people around about us. And then finally we have the earth card, which is it's our kind of just our material situation. So you could be looking at anything, their finances, you know, or basically our standing in the everyday kind of a material world. So I thought I would place them face down just because they've got such nice packs. I've done them in a square like that, but actually I think I'm going to just do them in a row. That's probably a better use of the space that I've got here. So fire, air, water, earth. Oops. So for our fire card, I've actually got the 7 of Cups. So for me, this card is about fantasy, right? That to me is the key word for the 7 of Cups. Fantasy can be a great thing. It's where our imagination lets us see all of the possibilities in life. So it can be a really powerful thing because it can really, well, in this case, it's obviously driving. You know, I don't necessarily know if this was for me or if I've just got an imaginary querent, but obviously really driven by imagining the possibilities of things. Now, obviously, we need to be careful with this because fantasy can, you know, it can also mean like illusions. If you're clinging on too tightly to these things, then you've got to really keep an eye on whether your feet are on the ground, you know, but like whether you've got an eye on reality. So that's just something to, I suppose, to be aware of there. When you're driven by fantasy, we need to make sure that everything has a basis in reality. What about our mental check-in? Okay, so we've got the 5 of Pentacles, so maybe struggling a wee bit mentally just now, okay? Maybe just feeling a wee bit cut off from the people around about us. Maybe feeling a bit shut out, maybe a bit let down in some way or other by, you know, maybe our family, friends, colleagues, you know, the people around about us who we feel, you know, maybe would normally support us, or we feel they owe us in a way to support us. We're somehow feeling a bit, you know, on the outside there. Okay, so that's maybe something we would want to kind of pull more cards on if this was an actual reading for someone, or but just to give us an idea. The emotional check-in, we've got the 9 of Wands, so a bit of a long winding road here. You know, a long arduous path is what this makes me think of. So again, that's kind of in keeping with the situation we see in the mental realm. You know, it's not that it's necessarily bad. It just feels as though it's we've been at this for a long time, and you're at that point where it's starting to question, is this worth it? Was there a point in this? Is this going somewhere type thing? You know. So that could be how we're feeling emotionally. That could reflect our relationships with other people. Given that this felt as though it was maybe talking about feeling a wee bit cut off from the people around about us. Maybe this is just a bit of a reflection of that. So that's how we're thinking. That's how we are in our mind, and that's how our emotions are almost kind of a mirroring that. They're echoing it. The Earth card, we get the Four of Swords. So again, the Four of Swords makes me think about taking a step back from, society, taking a bit of a rest. So there's a strong feeling right across this reading of, you know, being either cut off from or taking a bit of a break from, other people, which is interesting. All right, and given that what's driving this person is this kind of this fantasy, this imagination kind of a type factor, maybe it's self-inflicted. So maybe this person is so kind of a caught up in what could be, or they're in their like imagining their imagination, that they're forgetting to maintain those relationships, and that's maybe why we're seeing this kind of a more negative side and the mind, the heart, and the body. That's why we're seeing these, I say more positive, but less positive cards, and that it could be to do with this. So maybe this person needs to stop looking in this mirror, and kind of just look up, look around you, and just have some conversations with people, just get that solid grounding in reality again. And maybe once that happens, the mind and the heart will kind of a follow suit. So yeah, I think some of the images in this deck are absolutely stunning. Yeah, I love the use of it. Was it chrysalis or crystalsis for the instead of the hanged one? I thought that was really cool because that's like that period where the caterpillar goes into resting to it becomes a pupa in order to then become a butterfly. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you're still with me, I hope that you've enjoyed this. Let me know if you've got this, what your thoughts are. How do you use the deck? Because I appreciate this is a deck that could be used in many different ways. I'd imagine it is the portals deck, so some people might like to use this for like portal work or path working or something like that. So let me know your thoughts. Give me a wee like, follow, the usual stuff. If you enjoyed this, take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye bye.